Have you ever imagined yourself going bankrupt in 90 days? Scary, right? Here's a short story of a man who was wealthy at a very young age, but went broke because of lack of planning. Stay with us as we take you through the journey of Dave Ramsey and how he went out of bankruptcy using 5 strategies you can't find anywhere. But before we unravel these strategies first, let's take a quick look at his life and how he went broke overnight. Dave Ramsey and his gorgeous wife Sharon have been together for 38 years. He was a hell-raising beer hillbilly, and they didn't do premarital counseling because they were young and naive. He eventually started buying and selling real estate because he had grown up in the industry with his parents in the real estate business. Likewise, he began buying properties to flip, and as a result, he acquired wealth. But did you know that, with all the wealth he has, actually started from nothing? Shocking, right?
How many of you grew up like I did? Not rich.
Dave's life can be compared to a drop of water makes a mighty ocean. This is because when he was 26 years old, he had a little over $1 million in net worth, $4 million in real estate, and roughly $250,000 cash taxable income annually, or $20,000 per month paid.
And I left that little multi-level thing, I started buying and selling real estate, and I got rich. At least by a kid from Antioch, Tennessee standards. By the time I was 26, I had $4 million worth of real estate, a little over $1 million net worth, and I was making $250,000 a year in the early 80s. That's $20,000 a month. Now, I don't know what neighborhood you grew up in, but where I grew up, we called that rich.
He believed that having the car you've always wanted was a sign of wealth. Dave's ideal car was a Jaguar, since to him it was exotic and no one in his neighborhood could even spell it. So he bought it, and after that, continuous expending money. They traveled to Hawaii. They liked so much that 2 months later they were traveling again. After that, they began to expend a sizable sum of money, buying sparkly jewels and overspending. Now, after all this spending, touring, and having fun, do you know that money by itself cannot make you happy? It will simply enhance your current qualities.
What I have discovered now 30 years later is that money makes you more of what you already are. It magnifies the good and exposes the bad brightly. If you have a temper and you get money, Lord help the people around you. You will be a rageaholic tyrant. I mean, you will be out of control. If you are generous and give and you get money, you'll become what the world calls a philanthropist, and you will impact entire communities.
Now, let me ask, how many of you have ever done something stupid with money? Yeah, many of you might lie about that. What if I tell you that all the wealth Dave had at an early age went down the drain? I mean, he became broke. Yes, Dave borrowed too much money and spent a lot of it in just 90 days because they were flipping houses and their largest bank got sold to another bank out of state, which resulted in bankruptcy. They spent the following 2.5 years losing everything they owned, and their marriage was on the verge of collapsing. Money issues and money troubles are currently the #1 reason for divorce in North America. They had been completely bankrupt. Their aspirations and dreams had been dashed. Things don't mend instantly, do they? When you fall that hard, it's more of a splat. Bouncing back is not immediate. It takes some time. Now, these are the 5 strategies you can implement if you find yourself in a planned or unplanned bankruptcy. Yes, these 5 actions have a 100% success rate because they are from God. I'm not calling Dave Jesus or making them up. I mean that he stole them up directly from the Bible.
So let's talk about the 5 things that the Bible says we should do with money. Now, there's a whole bunch of them, but if you do these 5 over a couple decades, 100% of the time, you will get results that will blow your ever-loving mind. 100% of the time. Because let me just tell you, if you plant corn, don't be shocked if corn grows.
Before we move further, if you are getting inspired, please subscribe and like this video and help us grow more than the corn. 1. Budgeting. Our #1 strategy is to get on a budget because even Jesus Christ instructed, don't build a tower without first calculating the costs. As Zig Ziglar used to say, if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. And John Maxwell says that a budget is people telling their money what to do instead of wondering where it went. This is true. It turns out that winning is a deliberate action. No one accidentally wins. If you're going to have a great marriage, you're going to work at it. If you're going to have great kids, you're going to work at it. If you managed money for a company the way you manage money for yourself, would you fire you? This question can provide you some clarity. 2. Stay away from debt. Let's go with the second strategy is to get out of debt. Do you know a borrower is a slave to the lender?
You don't have any credit cards? No, not for 38 years. Well, 30 years. That's when I went bankrupt. They wouldn't give me one at first.
3. Fostering high-quality relationships. This one is the third and most intriguing. Do you know that you become the people you associate with? That happens also with money, so choose carefully.
We can have all the fun we want. You know you become who you hang around with. Studies say that your 10 closest friends over the next decade, your income will be within 10 to 15% of the average of your 10 closest friends.
4. Save money. According to the Bible, in the house of the wise are stores of fine food and oil, but a foolish man devours all he has. You're a fool if you spend everything you earn. You are essentially conserving money for a rainy day when you do so because it will rain. Life is coming, and having a ton of cash is helpful. If they fire you, but you have $30,000 in the bank and no debt, you'll be good. When you're fired and have a $30,000 debt to pay and no money, you're left wondering what to do. Listen to this, intelligent folks save money.
Save and invest. You're saving for an emergency fund first. Save 3 to 6 months to get ready for maybe something like a what? A rainy day.
Therefore, make a plan. No one makes a plan to fail, and you will eventually pay off your debt because you will realize that when you don't have any obligations, saving money and giving to others is simpler. 5. Be generous. The final strategy only works when you've achieved all the above. You can't contribute when you're broke. Being able to exhibit generosity with your finances can be a challenging endeavor when you find yourself in a financially constrained situation. The process of liberating oneself from debt and actively accumulating wealth should not solely serve one's personal interests, but also extend to a broader purpose of enabling generosity towards others. Imagine the profound impact that could ripple through society if those who possess a generous spirit were granted the financial latitude to truly manifest that generosity. Countless issues and pressing needs could find solutions through the benevolence of these individuals. In essence, when people have the means and financial stability to be generous, they have the power to effect positive change and make a tangible difference in the lives of others, ultimately creating a more compassionate and supportive community.
So to the extent you're not outrageously generous because you're in debt and haven't saved money, you're not on a plan, and you hang out with selfish people who are worried about their Instagram photo, any one of those 5 things that's not there, or any 5 of those 5 things that's not there, it's time for all of us to get a little better and change.
This is your occasion to be generous with me and subscribe to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.